open, yard open, man.
7-year anniversary of being out, April 29th. This one of my partners, Jafet, right here. We was on the yard together. I'm talking about slaves on the plantation together. You know, we're gonna get us a little workout in, and then we'll talk a little bit later, you know, so yard open. Matter of fact, yeah, let's get these pull-ups in, man. You know what I'm saying?
I ain't doing no pull-ups.
You ain't doing no pull-ups?
I ain't working out.
So you just gonna watch me work out?
That's it?
All right. Once upon a time on the yard, my boy was working out, man. You know, got out here, got a little soft around the edges and shit, you know what I'm saying?
I could do 10 right now.
I wasn't even counting, you know what I'm
I
saying?
was counting, nigga, I was 10.
That was 10?
Yeah.
Okay, well, you know how we used to do 10 sets of 10. Go on, give me 10, man.
I'm capping y'all, man. I just bullshit.
Okay, well, excuse me. Don't hold me up. Let me get my sets in, man. Let me get my sets in. You know, back then on the yard, 10 sets of 10. That's before I really knew how to work out, you know what I'm saying? That's just how we used to get started.
10 sets of 10, that was him.
10 pull-ups, you walk down, come back, 10 more, 10 more, 10 more. Got your 100 in. Same thing with the dips. You ain't gonna do no dips either? You ain't doing nothing. We'll come all the way out here to the workout. You ain't gonna contribute nothing?
I'm not gonna contribute to no workout.
All right. So you want to talk, right? We out here?
I contribute to the content.
Yeah, let's contribute to the content. So what you want to talk
I
about?
don't want to work out.
So you want to talk about Stockholm Syndrome, right?
I want to talk about Stockholm Syndrome.
Okay.
I want to.
So tell the people what's Stockholm Syndrome.
So Stockholm Syndrome is a psychological disease. I'm gonna try to put it simply, man, not to go into, not to divert too much, right?
So how about when the prisoner falls in love for his captor or finds a certain type of affection for the people who's holding them in bondage?
Listen, you know what I was gonna do for the people?
What we gonna do?
Listen, this is what I was gonna do for the people. For the people, I was gonna use the perfect illustration, which is a so-called woman involved in an abusive relationship with her husband or boyfriend, her oppressor. You have a woman who gets beat up by her husband or her boyfriend. I'm talking about physically beat up by her boyfriend all the time. But because once in a while her boyfriend or husband shows lights of affection, once in a while she continues to come back. It's the same thing in the penitentiary. You got prisoners, you got inmates in the penitentiary. I'm talking about hardcore niggas in the pen for murder, attempted murder, manslaughter, armed robbery. I'm talking about just clinging to the COs, man. Clinging to the COs. Clinging to the COs simply because the COs got power over their comfort, like small shit. It could be
might give them an extra cookie or something in the chow hall.
It could be the TV. It's so disgusting, man. It could be the TV. It could be an extra cookie on their motherfucking plate. And these hoe ass, I can talk freely.
Talk free.
And these hoe ass niggas, man, these hoe ass dudes, inmates, man, be in the penitentiary, like actually, like sacrificing their manhood over an extra plate of food or an extra cookie. Or it could be anything, it don't matter what it is, bro. It could be like an extra, it could be anything. In my mind, no matter what it is, it's not worth sacrificing your manhood for.
So I've seen, hold on. So I've seen people, like they telling, they cooperating, they doing whatever they doing. So the officer let them off their bunk during count time so they can sweep the dorm up. Just so they ain't locked in their room. Just so you ain't got to sit on your bunk. Hey man, inmate Jafet, he got that sack, man. Y'all go shake him down. So he can walk around and sweep up cause I'm on my bunk.
Because deprivation leads to deprivation. The word deprivation means when you are, when somebody takes whatever in your mind is normal to you. That's deprivation. They deprive you of a normal living. When you deprive of a normal living, whatever you call normal, all the comforts of a human being, you become depraved. You become immoralized. That means you don't even care no more about what happens to you after you've been deprived. It's like everything, you just want the comfort. You just want the comforts of the closest thing that can get to freedom. That's all you want. So it don't even matter if you see your comrade going through what you know you don't want to go through. You don't even give a fuck. I'm gonna give y'all an example, man. Okay, so in the penitentiary, right? Especially in the 2-man cell, when you taking a shower and it's near count time, let's say it's just near count time, or really the pigs could say count time is when they want to call it count time, right? So let's say count time is at 7:30, let's say it's 7 o'clock, right? You in the shower, you got soap all over your body. You cleaning up. Okay, the pigs or just say, fuck it, let me fuck with this fuck ass nigga who taking a shower, fuck it, let's just get a laugh at it. He shut the shower off. But you got soap, I'm talking about soap all over your eyes, soap all over your body, ain't no more water, they ain't finna turn that bitch back on, right? You got these whole ass niggas laughing at you. These the same niggas who you share a life with.
Yep.
This your Berkey. This the one who you feed when he say he hungry. He laughing at you cause you coming out the cell and you hollering with your eyes closed. You got the motherfucking soap all over your eyes and everybody laughing at you. That shit funny to them. But guess what? A week from then, you gonna be the one with soap all over your eyes, all over your body, being dehumanized and humiliated by the same pig that you were trying to jab on and bullet for extra cookie. And get what? That same man that you weren't trying to defend may be the one that'll pull up and defend your honor.
Or them officers done lied on him, sent him to the box. Now he's sending a witness statement to you. Or now you want a witness statement from me, but you laugh when I had this soap in my eyes. When they turned the water off on me and shit. When they shaking the spoon in the chow hall.
Be a whole lot of whole shit going on in the penitentiary, man. A whole lot of whole shit. It'd be a whole lot of whole shit, and it'd be a whole lot of gangster shit going on in the pen, man.
So let me ask you this, right? So, what was the hardest thing you had to deal with in prison? Could be mentally, could be physically.
I mean, shit, deprivation.
Okay, but in what aspect? Like of what?
Just freedom, just natural freedom.
Freedom.
Not being able to do whatever I wanted to do.
And how did that affect you?
That's a tough question, bro. That's a tough question. That, to be honest, as a person who appreciates psychology,
yeah,
and the subconscious, I'd be arrogant to say I can answer it. You dig what I'm saying?
Well, what's the first thing pops in your head? It's some type of way you feel like, well, this affected you. Want me to go first? Is there something that's kind of on my mind, right? So the hardest thing for me was letting go of the streets, right? And what I mean by the streets, what I mean is like the free world. So, and our situation was different. Because I remember your family coming to see you, you know, you going to visitation, they doing something for me, right? All my family and most of my friends, once I hit the county jail, it was over with. For sure, once I got them 20 years in the courthouse, wasn't nobody in there, wasn't no friends, no family, wasn't nobody speaking up for me, nothing. When them people said 20 years, I was in the courthouse by myself. So I'm reaching out, I'm trying to make phone calls. That's your car, Cujo. But yeah, I'm reaching out, and it's like I'm fighting, trying to hang on to people who are just moving on with their lives, you know what I'm saying? So, and what that's doing, like, that's affecting me because now I may be becoming more snappy on somebody. You could be my partner. You just, we might usually kick the bullshit. You feeling a little playful today. I'm like, man, I ain't with that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I try and be the same person every day.
You still do that now?
What you mean?
What you just said about yourself.
Like like what, cutting people off or?
No, I'm talking about.
Like trying to be the same person?
Nah, you're still irritable. I've told you that before. Now I don't know. I'm just throwing that out there. That may be. That may. Right.
Hey.
That I'm just.
But it's still it's degrees to it, and I do.
It's degrees. I say you still do it,
and okay.
Not to the same degree.
And I agree.
But you once in a while you are. Listen, but I'm a gangster.
Right.
And I love you.
Right.
So I love you too much, and I respect you too much, and I know that you love me too much and respect me too much for me to even take your irritability personally.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying?
Right.
So you remember? Since we've been home, we had one situation. It wasn't a situation, I'm just saying, I don't know if you remember when you picked me up, you had been up like 48 hours, and you picked, and you know what I'm saying? It was like, it don't matter, like you my homie.
Yeah.
But I just threw it out there like, yeah, you still.
Okay. But it's still like
you still a little edgy now.
It's still a little edgy. I get that.
It's my gangster though.
Right.
It's my gangster.
So, but it can have me taking out stuff on somebody who, like, they really didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying? Me trying to hang on to these people, I'm gonna back it up, you know what I'm saying? Me trying to hang on to whatever was going on in the free world. I'm mad at the situation. I'm in here by myself. Here comes the officer. He might be, he doing his job. My patience was short for them anyway. You know what I'm saying? Now, I might end up I'm just saying, like, I had to let that go. I had to let the streets go.
But would you ever consider that, like, not justifiable to snap on an officer?
It could be anybody. I'm just saying, it's people who you come across your path.
That
somebody.
Was terrible though. You said the pigs. That's never unjustifiable.
If I get on a police officer ass because he tell me to make my bed, you know what I'm saying? If I punch this motherfucker in his shit because I'm mad, now I got another 10, 15 years to do in prison. I went in with 20, now I got 35 because I couldn't control my emotions because of something that's going on the streets. Here it is, he came in here, his supervisor gonna tell him, hey, why you ain't tell Renton to make his bed? You know what I'm saying? So it's understandable, you know what I'm saying? All I'm saying is I got to be conscious of what I'm going through, you know what I'm saying? I can't be, I can see that me trying to hang on to these people who really let me go is affecting how I'm doing my time. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I had to let the streets go and just like I'm in prison, especially once I realized ain't no appeal court, they ain't letting you go. I'm in here, I got to do this shit, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of the hardest things for me because this is my mother, this is my cousins, these people who I grew up with my whole existence, you know what I'm saying? All of a sudden they done turned my back on me, now I'm in here by myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm in here with people I don't know. I don't know none of these motherfuckers here. Nobody. But you got to figure it out, you know what I'm saying? So for me, that was one of the hardest things, And then, like I said, I'm reaching out to these people. I got an aunt. she hard. She's like, man, what makes you think we should even give a fuck about you? Oh, you right. You dead right. I kept that letter for like 10 years. I was at Hardy, matter of fact, I was at Hardy when I finally realized they are not gonna let me out. I'm about halfway through the sentence. I'm like, you know what? All this extra baggage, all this hate that I'm carrying around with me, in the trash, in the trash. Let it go, let it go. Refocus my mind. So, like I said, me and him, we were slaves on the plantation, right? And I don't know, do you remember how hard I used to work outside the gate? I used to work, right? And there was a reason for why I used to work. Because at Hardy, at the main unit, I didn't work at all. Zero, right? But I was like, once I realized, okay, boom, I got to do this time, I need to mentally get ready for the streets. I got to mentally be ready to work, you know what I'm saying? So that was my process of like, okay, well, I ain't been in no trouble for a few years. Why my custody ain't dropped? Dropped my custody, they sent me to the work camp over there with y'all. I'm outside the gate really proving this stuff to myself. If I can do this for free,
you know,
I can come out here and I can work for, if need be, minimum wage.
You know how you just said that you used to be out there working so hard? And then you had other niggas doing the same thing, working as hard as you? What drew me to you was the fact that intuitionally, I knew the motive wasn't the same.
Yeah, because they were Jafet. They were taptoeing. They had Stockholm Syndrome. They wanted boss man's approval.
Exactly. So
I ain't doing it for boss man approval.
I didn't know you personally at the time, but I knew like, homie ain't doing this for the same reason like Bowie was doing. Fuck it, hey Bowie. Hey Bowie, if this shit go viral, whatever happens in this video, I brought you up. Cause you's the epitome. You the epitome. You the paragon of a person who suffers from Stockholm Syndrome. Bowie. I knew you weren't no Bowie.
Yeah.
We're gonna use Bowie as a paragon for Stockholm Syndrome.
Cause me being my irritable self, even with officers, I'm out here working hard. Listen, boss man, don't tell me nothing. You know what I'm saying? I'm out here doing my job, just leave me alone. All that I missed the patch, you get it. See, now I ain't doing nothing now.
But if we talk about what drew us to each other, that's
yeah.
But it's really we had like an ironic relationship regarding how you did your time and how I did my time, cause I was the opposite.
Yeah.
In a way.
Oh yeah, you weren't trying to do nothing.
Yeah, I was.
You weren't trying to do so at IFAS, right? So we were working at IFAS. So IFAS is the Institute for Food and Agricultural Sciences, right? It's a big farm, and basically they experiment. They experiment with fertilizers, they experiment with whatever, all this different type of stuff. So we out here planting, picking tomatoes, strawberries, you know, we doing all this stuff out here, man. You know what I'm saying? We tall, so you know, you talking about down here picking tomatoes and, you know, doing whatever it was, the first time, the second time, you know, like, that stuff was pretty intense, man. You know?
Hey, and remember at that time, I was still on the compound organizing shit. I was still living a fantasy.
What do you mean?
When I was motherfucking trying to galvanize these motherfuckers.
The dead,
yeah. When I was trying to galvanize the dead to like, bro, we could do something about it.
Yeah.
I used to be trying to galvanize prisoners. I don't like to use the word inmate. I call them prisoners. I used to try to gather prisoners to understand that you could do something about your daily complaints. Because what you see in the pen, whatever people's ideas is of people in the penitentiary, it's not something that dudes like. On a daily basis, it's misery. It's complaints.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is this, man. This is what I'm saying. Anything I complain about, me, JR, anything a real man complains about, they do something about it.
Prepared to do something about it, for sure.
Do something about it. All that daily complaining, man, do something about it. And I used to suffer on an individual basis because I used to go out my way and sacrifice myself to get these people to understand, bro, we could do something about it, bro. All we gotta do is galvanize each other and organize. You got work stoppages. You got hunger strikes. It's been done before in the past, bro. We could make it happen, especially at a work camp. When I met y'all who were at the work camp, we could make this happen. But it was one element. It was one element besides suffering that they lacked. That was the ability to sacrifice. Don't nobody want to go to confinement. Nobody want to get shipped. Everybody want canteen. Everybody want Vizzo. You not gonna have it your way. You ain't gonna have it like that, man. You gotta sacrifice, man. You gotta sacrifice and suffer.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yes, sir.
So I got a little story, kind of to emphasize that, right? So I'm at Charlotte, working outside the gates. So because it's so many inmates, so few officers, one of the ways that they maintain power is psychological games, right? And they like to try and put inmates against each other. So it's always inmate on inmate as opposed to unifying, right? So we're outside the gate, we're getting ready to come back in. We've been working all day, it's summertime. It's, basically South Florida. It's super hot, we in the swamps, mud, sweat, all this other stuff. So we're coming through the gates, and it was something small, and the officer was like, oh, see, that's why, y'all ain't getting an extra bag lunch or whatever, because this inmate did this. So now all the inmates, they starting to argue amongst themselves.
I already know where you're going with. I hate
and I was like, hey, man, y'all don't fall for that, because all he doing is trying to put us against each other, right? So he don't say nothing to me. He look at me, boom, I see him over there talking to the sergeant. It's like, okay, now I got a bullseye on my back. And I'm at Charlotte too. So Charlotte, they with the Officer on Inmate Violence. They with the ruckus, right? So they take me off a somewhat decent work squad in Fort Myers. They got me working outside grounds, right? Around the prison. So it's a stormy day, ain't nothing going on. They call us out to go rake up pine needles, and there's nothing even around. You know what I'm saying? Like, what we gonna do? What is the purpose of us raking up pine needles? So we raking pine needles with these metal rakes. It's starting to rain and lightning, and these dudes still out here raking with metal rakes in a lightning storm. So I throw my rake down, I'm chilling. Inmate Render, why you ain't working? I said, man, it's a lightning storm out here. What the fuck you mean, why I ain't working? Why we ain't going inside?
Let me ask you a question right quick. When you did that, what did you know was the consequence?
I knew for sure that all the rest of these short time motherfuckers.
No, I'm talking about you.
I know. Just let me get to it, right? I know for sure that all these other dudes ain't gonna do anything. That I'm gonna be going to confinement by myself for refusal to work, trying to stand up for everybody. So I knew what the consequence was.
Or inside the ride, which is CM.
Well, inside the ride, yeah.
That people gotta know, that people have to know how
serious the consequences are.
Yeah, they gotta know, they gotta know how solid. They gotta know how solid you are to do some shit like that.
So,
like the suffering that you know in your mind is gonna take for you to do something like that.
So CM is closed management. So that's confinement for the absolute minimum 13 months in confinement. So you're inciting the riot, inciting the minor disturbance, all that type of stuff. Yeah, you're risking 13 months in the box. And I'm close to going home at this point. But again, it's principles. So, cause I brought up in one of the prior episodes, I did 2 years in the box. And a lot of my confinement time is based on principles, respect. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you an officer, I'm an inmate, but you ain't gonna talk to me any kind of way. You know what I'm saying? You can hit that panic button and get back up here, But, you know, if push comes to shove, I'm going to give you the business. You can't stop me from doing what I'm going to do.
Listen.
You know what I'm saying?
I tell people this, man, listen. The penitentiary, and I use the term penitentiary simply because, okay, so any isolated environment that naturally demands survival mode is gonna show you whether you are who you think you are regarding masculinity.
Oh, yeah.
Can you dig that?
Yeah.
Can you dig that?
Yeah.
Okay, so dig this. I'ma say, man, 9.5 out of 10 motherfuckers who go to the penitentiary, they gonna join gangs. Ask yourselves, why all these motherfuckers that go to prison join gangs, man? Why you niggas join gangs, man? Why you niggas join gangs? Let's keep it gangster, man. Let's keep it. Why you niggas join gangs?
Because the majority weren't in gangs before they went to prison.
Y'all weren't gang banging. Why you niggas went to prison and joined? What y'all joining gangs for?
In Florida.
In Florida.
In
what y'all
Florida,
joining gangs for?
Florida, especially in Tampa, it was more like neighborhoods. You know, I'm from College Hill, I'm from Rovers Park, I'm from Ponce de Leon, you know, whatever.
Now
Get up that road.
Now you go up the road and you black. You come back home, you a blood, you a Crip. If you a so-called Chico, you a Latin King or you a MS-13. Why? And this was happening when I first fell. I fell in 07. I was legit. I was 22 when I fell. And when I came there, I was just, fuck you niggas down. What you joining the game for? What you scared of? That's because you niggas can't survive in a raw environment.
You gotta be able to stand up on your own too.
That's called a raw environment, man. You niggas stop lying to the people, man. Stop lying to the people. Another thing I gotta address is Hispanics. So-called Latinos, man. Y'all be doing all this capping and all this capping y'all be doing it against black Americans. So you got Mexicans, you got Puerto Ricans, you got Dominicans, you got Cubans. Y'all don't even fuck with each other on the real world. Y'all go to prison, and because y'all scared of black Americans, y'all try to unite under this umbrella like it's Hispanic love. You niggas don't even like each other. You niggas go to prison and try to make it seem to each other like y'all love each other because y'all scared of black Americans. Y'all niggas don't fuck with each other, man. Y'all niggas don't fuck with each other, man. Y'all niggas don't fuck with each other. I'm gonna show y'all this right here. I could be in a dorm with 15 Latin Kings right quick, right? I'm not a Latin King, right? But it's 15 Latin Kings. Y'all overrule black Americans. Y'all not fucking with black Americans because y'all overruled them. Two of y'all same Latin Kings, I can see y'all on another dorm, on another compound, and there's only two of y'all, and y'all overruled by black Americans. Guess what y'all gonna be doing?
What's up, my boy?
Y'all ain't gonna be on that Latin King shit. Y'all gonna be like, yeah, y'all fucking with the black, the black, that cool. Y'all ain't gonna be on the Hispanic shit, man. Y'all keep it gangster, man. Y'all keep it gangster. And y'all used to hate me because when I was in the pen, I used to say the exact same shit that I'm saying right now, man. Ask J.R.
That's for sure. My boy was with the Rockets now.
Ask J.R. I was in the penitentiary delivering revolutionary speeches against you motherfuckers, man. Doing all this capping. Cause the system used to use y'all against us too. Right here talking about Hispanic this against the blacks. You motherfuckers black yourselves, man. Y'all stop the bullshit, man. I was in the pen willing to risk my life for this shit, man. Y'all niggas know that. Especially you Latin King motherfuckers, man, doing all that capping, man. Cause none of you niggas, I ain't met one of you motherfuckers who was in the pen that used to rock like me. Just on some shit where it's like, okay, I'm a Latin King, and this is what I stand for, I don't fuck with blacks, and that's it. Nah, y'all wasn't rocking like that. Y'all used to be on some shit where it's like, if y'all was deep in the dorm, okay, y'all stand for this, but if y'all not deep, nah, y'all wasn't rocking the same way. Y'all weren't principle. Y'all weren't principle. Y'all were not principle. Y'all were not. But Jay, I'll tell you. Anybody who did time with me, man, they'll tell you, man.
To me, it's an individual thing. Cause one of my best partners was a Latin King, and he was like, in his circle, he was a boss. He was a legend, right? And he fucked with me hard. He was from Miami.
So he was the exception to the rule.
He was the exception to the rule.
I didn't say that. Say that.
I said it's some. I can't say that for all now. Because when I used
exception to the rule.
When I used to get in my shit, and because he's in a leadership role, and this is outside of his brothers, he don't include it. Hey man, like, you know, y'all suit up, something going down, it just be him. It might be me and him. You know, we got a situation we going through. He like, bro, I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? And he fought with me like that.
Get what? If I was to ever be him, I love him just like I love you. But you know how hard it is to find the exception to a fucking rule.
But this is a long time ago too. So
that shit tough, bro.
He's a different generation. You know what I'm saying?
That shit tough.
Yeah.
That shit tough. Bro, I done been. There's so many examples, bro. The examples run amok. They run rampant. Like, there's so many examples I could, use to, illustrate that this is existential reality in the penitentiary.
And you can't live by the exception of the rule.
You can't.
And especially in the jungle. In the jungle, you got the majority rule.
The exception
and power rule.
The exception to the rule is, man, listen. The exception to the rule is you, bro. That's why I love you so much. Like, you can't. I can't commit to nothing but the exception to the rule, bro. I'm gonna keep it gangster.
So, because there was another subject we were talking on before, right? The destruction.
Hey, back to these y'all motherfuckers in prison. Y'all Latin Kings in prison. Y'all stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Y'all keep it gangster. Y'all stop it. Stop it. Not just in Florida, anywhere, man. Y'all stop it.
How the system is designed to destroy masculinity. To destroy who you are as a man. Department of Corrections.
I'm gonna keep it gangster with you.
Keep it gangster. I wouldn't expect anything else. You know how we talk.
That shit.
We just doing this for y'all. You know what I'm saying? We talk like this anyway.
That shit's so basic to me, brother. I can't, I don't even know how dudes, could be influenced by the tactics that they use. It starts at the reception center, of course.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're a gangster, you're a gangster. You already know, you get off the bus, they yelling, they hollering. Okay, you a gangster, you know what's going on. In my mind, in your mind, yeah, I do all this hollering, bitch, you put your hands on me, I'm finna bust your ass. That's how when I got off the bus, okay, I knew the psychological tactics, the talking, the get down, the strip, the all this, the slapping motherfuckers. But excuse my arrogance, I just knew that they weren't gonna slap me, bro. I just knew they weren't gonna slap me, and I knew they did slap me, bro. I finna pop off.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
I finna pop off, man.
So,
bitch ain't finna slap me, you know that.
Yeah.
Bitch ain't finna slap me, man.
So this is an example of what I'm talking about the systematic destruction of masculinity.
It starts with the reception center.
It starts with the reception center, but I'm gonna give you an example, right? So, and this is the late 90s when I first go in, right? So people are subscribing to magazines. You know, you want a Source magazine, you want a Vibe magazine. We want magazines with women. We want something, because I'm in the middle of nowhere. I'm in the Panhandle, Florida, at a prison. It's basically all white officers work here. You know what I'm saying? You know, we watching the Parkers or Moesha or whatever, trying to see a glimpse of black women. You know what I'm saying? You order these magazines, and if Janet Jackson standing here holding the chest like this, or you can't get that, or that's of a sexual nature. You know what I'm saying? If you can't get later on a King magazine, because a girl got her butt out, and you know what I'm saying, she ain't naked, she got her bathing suit on, but you can't, because they don't want you as a man looking at this woman. They want you looking at another man. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna give you an example too, right? So suppose you go to confinement for jacking off, right? They give you 60 days for masturbating, but you get caught having sex with another man, you might not even go to the bars. Or if you do go to the box, the max 30 days, they might put you in the room with your lover. You know what I'm saying? So you can continue doing what you was doing on the compound in the box. That's the what I mean by like trying to destroy masculinity.
Yeah, that's definitely another aspect of it. They deploy all type of tactics, bro. That's definitely deeper in when whole ass niggas who are going to succumb to deprivation and they become depraved. Earlier I mentioned deprive and depraved. When you deprived, you become depraved. When you deprived of, when you heterosexual and you deprive of heterosexual activity, if you're weak, you're gonna succumb, so you become depraved. And that's what JR is touching on. Deeper in your bed, and that happens. It's so many tactics that they deploy to emasculate you as a man in the penitentiary. But it starts, like I said, it starts with the reception center. The reception center is when you first come in, and but that shit's so lame to me. You get off the bus and you got a bunch of white, fuck-ass racist pigs just yelling at the top of their lungs and acting tough, and it's like, to a gangster, it's like, come on, man. You know, when I first got off the bus, I was just like, man, come on with that bullshit, man, but please don't slap me. Cause I went in, I had 15 years. You know, you slap me, man, I don't too tough. Listen, I don't too tough give a fuck about nothing but my motherfucking dignity. And when ultimately all you care about is your dignity, you willing to die for it. So when I went to the pen, and this may sound, I don't know, y'all may be viewing this shit, probably sound like it ain't got nothing to do with being tough or toughness, it's just what it is, man. Whatever ideals you have as a man, if you feel like they're being violated, there's nothing you're not gonna do to uphold that. You know what I mean? So when I was in the pen, I always upheld that. Just like when I first fell, I always knew I wasn't gonna join no gang. I did 13 years. I never joined no gang. Never joined no gang, man. And that was at the time when there was so many gang members. Gangs were just starting to like evolve in prison. Till I fell in 07. When I fell in 07, all the gangs started to evolve. It was Bloods, the Lion Kings, the GDs, shit that I ain't even heard about. And the main thing that they observe about
she just said no.
About somebody who they want is your courage and your ability to stand on your own 2 feet, which is obviously violence. So because I came in the pen, just like JR did, it wasn't only character, just the way you carry yourself. It's not only violence, it's the fact that they knew this cat right here, he carries himself a certain way, and they understood your potential for violence. So they always drew to me like, come home, that's their turn. Come home.
Oh, you talking about the gang members?
Yeah, the gang members. I'm talking about the gang members now. Come home. Come home, come home. Man, listen, man, I'm from Tampa, Florida, man. I don't even know nothing about that gang shit, man. I did 13 years, I ain't never joined no gang, and that's a lot to say. That's a lot to say. Because not too many, they call them neutrons. A neutron in prison is somebody who doesn't roll with a clique. They call us neutrons. And when a neutron do that much time without succumbing to any of the penitentiary flaws that are designed to emasculate you, it says a lot about you. A lot, a great deal. And I take pride in that.
You got anything else on your mind?
George Jackson, man.
George.
The If y'all don't know George Jackson, look into George Jackson.
She's in the back seat too. She ain't in the front. She's up, but she ain't doing nothing.
If y'all don't know George Jackson, look into George Jackson.
Blood in my eye.
Blood in my eyes, soul of that brother.
Soul dad. Shit, well, I guess we can wrap it up, man. My boy Jafet, JR, Yard Open, 7-year anniversary. We got a trip coming up, but you know, cause of the fight, we had to postpone it. You know, they pushed the fight back a week, so I had to push some things back. But we're gonna do something good for the anniversary. Going to the hockey game tonight, man. See what these Lightning doing.
George Jackson.
Appreciate it, bro.